Never in my wildest dreams would I imagine that life would find me in a situation where money was a determining factor of where I could go in life. Not until I found myself as a single, disabled mother of three. I had held several jobs after graduating from high school. I was a CNA. I went to Job Corps. I just lived life working with my hands. Got a little training, but I was working with my hands and my back. That work broke me down before I knew it. I was 21, a single mother of my eldest son, and I had to provide. Honestly, the welfare was turning me off every other month. I couldn't live like that. And not be a good mom to my kids, to be a role model. That meant I had to get up, go out, find something to do when you can't work with your hands and your back. Because my family was the first generation of migrant workers, and in that type of upbringing, it's not about how many books you can read, when did you do your homework. It's really about getting out there, finding a job, even if that means working in the fields, picking apples, working in the groves, picking oranges, picking anything. My father did that for a living for several years, and that's how we ended up in the North. In order to find a better opportunity, him working on the harvest season would bring him up and down the East Coast, and he was able to see for himself that life would be better in the North. He encouraged my mother, who was working in the travel industry as a hotel maid. She seen the good life, of how it would be to have money and take vacations and, not worry about how I'm going to feed my kids and can I buy them some shoes, or even if I'm going to have a place to stay. She's seen it firsthand, so she knew there was something better than what they were promised or what they could even achieve in the South. So my mother and father took that leap of faith and moved to the North, not knowing that shortly after, our family would face a devastating tragedy that would cost them 3 of their young children. My parents had 7 kids, 5 daughters and 2 sons, and after a tragic house fire claimed the lives of 3 of them, my family had to start all over again with fewer children, but still trying to show them a better tomorrow. My parents never gave up. They always pushed us. My father would make us put our homework on the table at night to make sure it was completed so we could get good grades. I used to get angry about it. Why? Why do I gotta put my work down? Not knowing that my father was teaching me a lesson to use my mind. Don't just do anything if that's what you love. And just by his encouragement alone, I would have loved school. It one day became my social outlet. I would quickly complete my class assignment so I can begin to spend time with my friends, just to socialize, just to have that extra outlet, because life at home was hard and you had to work. Because that meant toting wood for the wood fire, raking the yard in the fall, and clean it up, make it look nice, mowing the lawn in the summer. As a woman, as a female, as a daughter, I was expected to do more than just use my mind. And those are some of the things that built my character, that today I can wear a crown even though my family could never afford to make me a princess. But it's the princess and the royal principles that were instilled in me that I know I can hold my head high, and that whatever I put my mind to, I can do it. But I wasn't always that way. It was a point in time in my life where I didn't even have my mind. I had become disabled, and I could no longer use my hands and my back and my body to make a living for me and my son. I had lost everything, and I was at the bottom now. And I had to figure out something else to do. And one thing I had never really tried was to go to college. And it was the old cliche, give it the old college try. That means even if you go there and you fail, at least you try. And that's something that I wanted to say and tell my children. Even though I didn't make it, I tried. And I want you to try and be better than me. I went to college. My mother would drive me every day, supportive as she could be. But there was no one in my immediate family, or family in general, that had graduated from even college. Everybody who desired to. I can't say everybody graduated from high school. But everybody who wanted to graduated from high school. But no one pushed themselves to go further, to go get their associate's degree, their bachelor's degree, their master's, their doctorate, until I decided that that was my best option. In order for me to make it in this world and achieve and keep what I earn, I must get on paper. I must get a degree. I started college September 2005, and by the grace of God, with His help, I was able to complete in December 2007, even though there was no one that said I could. When I was in the hospital, and I told my social worker, I had enough presence of mind then, even in the hospital, to fill out that college application, still not believing in myself. And I gave it to her, and I said, could you please mail this off? I want to go to college. She told me, look where you're at. You got other things to worry about than going to college. And it hurt me, because I wanted to be better than what I was. Because what I was wasn't working, and I was failing, and I needed to be there for my son. So when my mother came to visit me in that same hospital where I had lost everything, I gave my application to her, and she believed.